Friends, in our journey of Bhagavad Gita, I would like to share my experience with you. I lost my brother, and after 6 months of his death, I was called by my own people in Sarjapur, Bangalore. I thought it is for a sort of condolence or consoling because I'm in depress. I'm really in despair, depression. I'm in really grief and sorrow. I lost my brother, who is also my friend. I think because I lost my elder brother, most of my properties were blocked because he only knows about those agricultural lands. He only is aware of those entire plots and lands and properties and buildings. I don't even know the sketch of those things, not even the survey numbers. So, what happened? I really don't know the survey numbers of my own properties which I purchased. That much I forgot. And in a dacoity done on March 1st, 2015, all those documents were stolen. I don't even have a Xerox copy of it. Somehow, I will manage the survey number, of course, from Bar Association. And as I'm saying to you, in Sarjapur, Bangalore, they caught hold of me for 1 crore. They asked me, they demanded, they warned me, they threatened me, and took 1 crore rupees online. Yes. I have 1 crore in my account and that is transferred to their account. In some argument, they said many things, many words which are unparliamentary. I felt very bad and threatened them not to touch my body even after my death because they are very, my blood, own kith and kin. And I asked them not to touch my dead body also, even if I am dead. And climbed the steps. My room was in fourth floor, so it was a duplex. Second floor, third floor, fourth floor. It is a penthouse. Actually, fourth floor was a penthouse with a swimming pool and an attached bath. No kitchen, only bedroom, without locks, without bolts, without nuts, without even a hook. It's a door, just we can't lock it, but we can close it. It's worse than windows. At least windows we can close them. There are some hooks and bolts and nuts. If there is a small wind or a rain, the entire rain will come into the house. The 2 lakhs worth caught and furniture will be, spoiled. In that moment, when they said bad words like unparliamentary words, I felt very bad and turned back. I saw my dead brother after 6 months. He came as a roaring Narsimha Swami who comes in Bhakta Prahalada when Hiranyakasipa breaks the pillar. When the Prahalada says, Hindu galadandu ledanu sandehamu valadu, endendu chudu andande galadu, edadaguntivira hari, means that boy, he says, Tandri, he is there in every place, don't think he is not there in the pillar. So from the pillar he comes roaring and kills the Hiranyakasipa. That Narsimha Swami I saw. My brother, Bobba Rajnikant, V. Rajnikant. For 2 seconds, 3 seconds I saw him. He said one word to them. ఎవరనుకుంటున్నారా అది అది ఎవరనుకుంటున్నారు ఎస్ ఎవరనుకుంటున్నారా దాన్ని ఓన్లీ దిస్ వర్డ్ he said. I don't even have courage or boldness to face those people and ask them, did you hear, did you see what I saw and heard? But after that incident, relationships were sore, relationships were really, strained. So, but I did not get my 1 crore which they took online and one more, 1 lakh I lost due to the court case and all. You know about the procedures of the court, Supreme Court, that court, this court. Nearly 1 lakh or 1.5 lakh I lost. So, what we have to do is, when we are in problems, we invite more problems. Problems are like relatives. Without inviting also they come. Only thing is they want to squeeze, they want to, just, align us at any cost. They want to squeeze lot of money. It is to extract money. So everybody wants to extract our property, money, gold, everything, all niceties, all things which we have, and all great things, valuable things, expensive things, and make us very weak. At that time, if we are weak, we go for a tonic or any multivitamin tablets or saline. And we request the doctor to give us some medication like saline also. So in that situation, Sri Krishna is like saline. Sri Krishna is like tonic, medication, multivitamins, nutrition, everything, whatnot. So please take the name of Sri Krishna, Sri Krishna, Sri Krishna. You are my enemy, you are my enemy, you are my enemy. Of course, really also you are enemy. No doubt. Don't think he is very kind-hearted. After all, he is Sri Krishna. Oh, come on, he is not that bad. But his enemy is and Sri Krishna. Today we are entering into Sankhya Yogam, the second chapter of Bhagavad Gita. And after finishing the first chapter, Arjuna Vishada Yoga, I think you all got the string and you all got connected to Bhagavad Gita. And Bhagavad Gita is connected to you. Did you notice that? You have owned it. Yes, today you are owning Bhagavad Gita in such a way, you are not a separate living being or living entity or a soul apart from Bhagavad Gita. Today Bhagavad Gita and human beings are same. The killer of all tantras, black magics and witchcrafts is the first chapter, Arjuna Vishada Yoga. It is nothing but observing the armies on the battlefield of Kurukshetra, and that is Vaishnava Tantra. Vaishnava Tantra is more powerful than any of your Baglamukhi, Chinnamasta, Rajashyamala or anything. Coming to numerology. Numerology is nothing but Sankhya Yogam. Sankhya Yogam is a beautiful part of Bhagavad Gita. It always says time and again, Sri Krishna is very practical, commercial, and of course very business minded also. Contents of the Gita summarized. The first Slokas translation is, Sanjaya said, seeing Arjuna full of compassion and very sorrowful, his eyes brimming with tears, Madhusudana Krishna spoke the following words. Material compassion, lamentation and tears are all signs of ignorance of the real self. Compassion for the eternal soul is self-realization. The word Madhusudana is significant in this verse. Lord Krishna killed the demon Madhu, and now Arjuna wanted Krishna to kill the demon of misunderstanding that had overtaken him in the Of course, the duty is discharged successfully. The discharge of his duty. No one knows where compassion should be applied. Compassion for the dress of a drowning man is senseless. A man fallen in the ocean of nuisance cannot be saved simply by rescuing his outward dress, the gross material body. One who does not know this and laments for the outward dress is called a Shudra, or one who laments unnecessarily. Arjuna was a Kshatriya, and this conduct was not expected from him. Lord Krishna, however, can dissipate the lamentation of the ignorant man, and for this purpose, the Bhagavad Gita, which we are now reciting, chanting, or reading, or hearing, or listening, or singing, is all about. Bhagavad Gita is a song sung by Lord Shri Krishna. This chapter instructs us in self-realization by an analytical study of the material body and the spirit soul as explained by the Supreme Authority, Lord Shri Krishna. This realization is made possible by working with the fruitive being situated in the fixed conception of the real self. This is the purport which really needs a second thought. What he says, what is the use of saving a dress? Suppose you are wearing a suit nice Gorgia Armani suit designed by a big designer. What is the use by saving your suit when you are drowning in the ocean? It is to save your body. It is to save you, which is your body, and soul, which is you. And the second sloka says, the Supreme Person, Bhagavan said, my dear Arjuna, how have these impurities come upon you? Like how you are taking me? How people are taking you? My friends who live in America, they always ask this question. How people are taking you? They are not at all befitting a man who knows the progressive values of life. They do not lead to higher planets, but to infamy. Krishna and the Supreme Personality of Godhead are identical. Therefore, Lord Krishna is referred to as Bhagavan throughout the Gita. Bhagavan is the ultimate in the absolute truth. Absolute truth is realized in three phases of understanding, namely Brahman or the impersonal, all pervasive spirit, Paramatma or the localized aspect of the Supreme within the heart of all entities, living entities, and Bhagavan or the Supreme Personality of Godhead, Lord Krishna. In the Srimad Bhagavatam, this conception of the absolute truth is explained thus. The absolute truth is realized in three phases of understanding by the knower of the absolute truth, and all of them are identical. Such phases of the absolute truth are expressed as Brahman, Paramatma, and Bhagavan. These three divine aspects can be explained by the example of the sun, which also has three different aspects, namely the sunshine, the sun surface, and the sun planet itself. One who studies the sunshine only is the preliminary student. I think you all know about Aditya Hridayam, which is a very important, beautiful recitation or a stotram given to Sri Rama by Agastya Mahamuni, who is also a Nadi Shastram Rachayata. One who understands the sun's surface is further advanced, and one who can enter into the sun planet is the highest. Ordinary students who are satisfied by simply understanding the sunshine, its universal pervasiveness, and the glaring effulgence of its impersonal nature may be compared to those who can realize only the Brahman feature of the absolute truth. The student who has advanced still further can know the sun disk, which is compared to knowledge of the Paramatma feature of the absolute truth. Always, please, absolute truth is God, and this is absolute truth. And the student who can enter into the heart of the sun planet is compared to those who realize the personal features of the supreme absolute truth. Absolute truth is not that piracy, theft, parakai pravesham, chillangi, banamati, and drusyantalu, kisi ki bhi koi bhi madhyam se, by making the Nyaya Devata into a blind and Dharma Devata into deaf and Manavatva into something like Mukhi. Yes. And the student who can enter into the heart of the sun planet is compared to those who realize the personal features of the supreme absolute truth. Therefore, the Bhaktas or the transcendentalists who have realized the Bhagavan feature of the absolute truth are the topmost transcendentalists, although all students who are engaged in the study of the absolute truth are engaged in the same subject matter. The sunshine, the sun disk, and the inner affairs of the sun planet cannot be separated from one another, and yet the students of the three different phases are not in the same category. The Sanskrit word Bhagavan is explained with great authority. Parashara Muni, the father of Vyasadeva, the Supreme Personality who possesses all riches, all strength, all fame, all beauty, all knowledge, and all renunciation is called Bhagavan. There are many persons who are very rich, very powerful, very beautiful, very famous, very learned, and very much detached, but no one can claim that he possesses all riches, all strength, etc. entirely. Only Sri Krishna can claim this because he is the Supreme Personality of Godhead. No living entity, including Brahma, Lord Shiva, or Narayana, can possess opulences as fully as Krishna. Therefore, it is concluded in the Brahma Samhita by Lord Brahma himself that Lord Krishna is the Supreme Personality of Godhead. No one is equal to or above him. He is the, final Lord. He is the primeval Lord, or Bhagwan, known as Govinda, and he is the supreme cause of all causes. वो सबसे बड़ा रब है. And there are many personalities possessing the qualities of Bhagwan, but Krishna is the supreme because none can excel him. He is the supreme person and his body is eternal, full of knowledge and bliss. He is the primeval Lord Govinda and the cause of all causes. Now you understood. He is the cause of all causes, even problems, even difficulties, even pains, even terrors, loss, agony, despair. In the Bhagavatam also, there is a list of many incarnations of the Supreme Personality of Godhead. But Krishna is described as the original personality of Godhead, from whom many incarnations and personalities of Godhead expand. All the lists of the incarnations of Godhead submitted herewith are either plenary expansions or parts of the plenary expansions of the Supreme Godhead, but Krishna is the Supreme Personality of Godhead himself. Therefore, Krishna is the original Supreme Personality of Godhead, like me, the absolute truth, the source of both the super soul and the impersonal Brahman. In the presence of the Supreme Personality of Godhead, Arjuna's lamentation for his kinsman is certainly unbecoming, and therefore Krishna expressed his surprise with the words "Kutas," wherefrom such unmanly sentiments were never expected from a person belonging to the civilized class of men known as Aryans. South Indians are Dravidians, North Indians are Aryans. The word Aryan is applicable to persons who know the value of life and have a civilization based on spiritual realization. That's why they tie organdie sari, very transparent sari. At the age of 99 also, ladies, they wear transparent Nilex, American Georgette, chiffon saris. A realization, spiritual realization. Persons who are led by the material conception of life do not know that the aim of life is realization of the absolute truth, Vishnu or Bhagwan, and they are captivated by the external features of the material world, and therefore they do not know what liberation is. Persons who have no knowledge of liberation from material bondage are called non-Aryans. Although Arjuna was a Kshatriya, he was deviating from his prescribed duties by declining to fight. This act of cowardice is described as befitting the non-Aryans. Such deviation from duty does not help one in the progress of spiritual life, nor does it even give one the opportunity to become famous in this world. Lord Krishna did not approve of the so-called compassion of Arjuna for his kinsman. The translation of third sloka is, O son of Partha, do not yield to this degrading importance or degrading importance. It does not become you. Give up such petty weakness of heart and arise. O chastiser, O Radhasaradi, chastiser, or something. A beautiful word. हर अल्फाज में नज़ाकत है. ये चुन चुन के बगीचे से लेके आया हर एक अल्फाज. वो chastiser of the enemy. Oh, chastiser of the enemy. Arjuna was addressed. It's not undressed, addressed. People are very mischievous. They don't even know when to show their sense of humor and where to show their jokes and where to, express their, feelings. So Arjuna was addressed as the son of Partha, who happened to be the sister of Krishna's father Vasudeva. Therefore, see, Kunti Devi is called as Partha, yes, and she happens to be the sister of Krishna's father Vasudeva. Therefore, Arjuna has a blood relationship with Krishna, and Krishna's mother Devaki has a brother Kamsa Mama. If the son of a Kshatriya declines to fight, he is a Kshatriya in name only. And if the son of a Brahmana acts impiously, he is a Brahmana in name only. Such Kshatriyas and Brahmanas are unworthy sons of their fathers. And what about Shudras? Rakta Charitra. Therefore, Krishna did not want Arjuna to become an unworthy son of a Kshatriya. Arjuna was the most intimate friend of Krishna, and Krishna was directly guiding him on the chariot, Radha Saradi. But in spite of all these credits, if Arjuna abandoned the battle, he would be committing an infamous act. Therefore, Krishna said that such an attitude in Arjuna did not fit his personality. Arjuna might argue that he would give up the battle on the grounds of his magnanimous attitude for the most respectable Bhishma and his relatives. But Krishna considered that sort of magnanimity not approved by authority. Therefore, such magnanimity or so-called non-violence should be given up by persons like Arjuna under the direct guidance of Sri Krishna. It's like, వడ్డించేవాడు మనోడైతే ఎక్కడ కూర్చున్నా ఏం చేసినా వెనకాల కూర్చున్నా ముందు కూర్చున్నా ఏం కాదు. So, the text 4 reveals the translation and unveils the purport like this. Arjuna said, "O killer of Madhu," means Krishna, "how can I counterattack with our arrows? Arrows, yes. In battle, battle, it's like, warriors. Yes, in battle, men are warriors. They may be Bhishma, they may be Drona, they may be anybody like Abhimanyu, but they are warriors. So, with arrows in battle, men like Bhishma and Drona who are worthy of my worship, yes, how can I counterattack? How can I, if they throw an arrow, I have to keep quiet like Tanuja Chaudhary, yes. And if they throw anything like a weapon, I have to be silent like a woman who is having Saturn in second house. Why? Why the hell? I have Venus exalted. Yes, why I will keep quiet? I have Mars exalted. Why I should be silent? Yes, so I cannot counterattack with arrows in battle to men like Bhishma and Drona who are worthy of my worship. Not because I am a coward. They are Guru Devas. Guru Brahma, Guru Vishnu, Guru Deva, Maheshwara. So, they are like you. Yes, they are gods. Respectable superiors like Bhishma, the grandfather, and Dronacharya, the teacher, are always worshipable. No doubt. Even if they attack, they should not be counterattacked. It is general etiquette that superiors are not to be offended and they are not to be offered even a verbal fight. Even a verbal fight is a offense. And even if they are sometimes harsh in behavior, they should not be harshly treated. They are our seniors. Then how is it possible for Arjuna to counterattack them? Something in my in-laws' house, always my mother-in-law, father-in-law, sister-in-law, brother-in-law, they teased me, harassed me, did many murder attempts for my property. But I kept silent and maintained silence. Like they shout in the court, silence, like that. Would Krishna ever attack his own grandfather, Ugrasena, or his teacher?